on track so that it's growing and creating strong businesses and good jobs, so people are paying taxes when they see their pay rising. And it needs to get back on track because we need to get public spending under control to make sure that our public services are delivering better outcomes for people at better cost. There are too many examples of public services failing people but costing huge amounts of money. You can think about children with additional needs, or children's social care, or temporary housing. There's a whole list of things that we are working hard to get a grip of. But also, the welfare system had got to a place where it wasn't supporting people in the way that it was designed to. We've now got 1 in 8 young people coming out of education and not going into work or training and staying at home on universal credit payments. We need to make sure that they're given the opportunity to be able to go and work and to benefit from that. And we've been taxing wealthy people too, people with the broadest shoulders. We've changed the non-dom tax status. These are the richest people often in our country. We've changed inheritance tax and capital gains tax to raise more from assets that you might inherit or be able to sell. If you happen to have a private jet, it's now much more expensive to use it after years of it being cheap under Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. And we've been adding VAT onto private schools to redistribute that money into the state school system. The country's in a very fragile place, though. The economy is still pretty tough. The public spending settlements that we have are really challenging, and that's why it feels hard right now, and it's not feeling as positive or as easy as we want it to be. But coming into government, we've managed to get a grip of the situation we've inherited, and now we've got to work really hard to be able to turn the country around so that we can start to lift that pressure and deliver opportunity and prosperity for everyone.
Is there not a contradiction in the government developing a strategy to reduce child poverty and at the same time pushing 50,000 more children into relative poverty?
So look, let me be clear.
By your statement yesterday.
Sure. A Labour government is not going to see child poverty increase in this country. All of us, myself included...
Well, according to the OBR, yes, it is.
Well, I'll come to the impact assessment, but look, all of us in the Labour Party, it's the first time I think that the cabinet of our government has been entirely from working class backgrounds, from state school educated backgrounds. I grew up in poverty in the 80s and 90s before the last Labour government introduced the national minimum wage and transformed my family's life. We are deeply committed, this is in our DNA, we're deeply committed to wanting to tackle this. Now, the impact assessment you referred to from yesterday, what that shows is that as we are trying to help families get into work, because we know the biggest lever to move child poverty statistics is to get larger families where there are 2 parents, one of which is not able to work, to help them to get into work. That's the easiest way to help alleviate child poverty. As we help families to do that, the social security payments that are going to those people goes down. That's what the impact assessment shows. What the impact assessment doesn't show is the gain that those families get by then being in work and earning more money.
I mean, you can only guess how many families are going to go into work. You can't know that.
No one could give an accurate number on that, that's true, but we put £1 billion into job support yesterday. We put £2 billion already extra into childcare, breakfast clubs in primary schools. We're doing everything we can to make sure that we can create the opportunity of well-paid work, help families to be able to do that, and to help children in the process.
Richard.